to me. I'm gonna get off the phone right now, and I am going to let you
have these big ass mansion parties, and the mansion party, the whole mansion is a party, and then it's a separate party in the little rooms. I ain't been famous that goddamn long. I'm excited in a at the mansion party.
And if nobody shot Tupac, it's the same nobody that shot MLK.
The industry is full of homo hating ass. It's like they got this new breed of rapper that's paying DJs to play this shit.
Right.
And, you know what I'm saying? They sucking the record label executive dicks, and it's like there's too much of that going on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Let me be me. Let me be the artist that I am and just play my mother. You get me?
In all of these situations, it's only the artist that's losing. Somebody makes big money. When these rappers get killed, not incidental. Somebody made $100 million and now don't have to talk to that artist or none of their crew, don't have to validate none of their contracts.
Katt Williams has never been the kind of man to whisper. For years, he stood on stages and sat in interviews saying things that made rooms go silent. Things people brushed off, laughed off, or called crazy. But now, in 2025, with Sean Diddy Combs sitting behind bars and his legacy unraveling in real time, those same clips are resurfacing, and suddenly everyone is asking the same unsettling question. What if he wasn't joking? What if those weren't rants, but warnings? Long before arrests, freak-off allegations, documentaries, and leaked court files took over the internet, Katt Williams was already saying there was something dark lurking behind the glitter of the entertainment world. He talked about men in power who moved differently, men who thought the rules didn't apply to them, who treated human beings like disposable game pieces. And every time he dropped Diddy's name, the air shifted. People dismissed it back then, called it comedy beef, said he wanted clout. But watching it now, those clips don't feel funny anymore.
I ain't gonna say because Hollywood too strong. If they want you to be famous, you finna be famous. They don't give a fuck what's wrong with you. Even if you was allegedly riddled with herpes, they'll still have you in Vegas dancing for
Last year, a viral joke took over social media saying Katt Williams opened a portal of karma when he claimed 2024 would be the year every hidden deviant would get hit. And the joke stuck because one by one, major names began falling. Lawsuits, investigations, raids, careers dissolving overnight. And every time another headline dropped, fans replayed that moment, watching how calm he was. Not loud, not angry, certain. When Katt connected Diddy's name to the Tupac situation after that first shooting, his whole presence changed. He wasn't performing. He wasn't trying to land a punchline. He looked into the camera and said he had receipts. That wasn't comedy. That was a warning shot.
So when he comes out of sedation, sure anybody who gets shot will tell you who shot them, right?
Yeah.
But if the police said nobody shot him,
Predicting this is going to be a nobody situation.
I'm making no predictions whatsoever. I'm saying the police said they arrested the shooters, then said they didn't arrest the shooters. But I was there, so I know that 20 minutes after people were laying down on the ground shot, no police had entered the club yet.
And later, when Tupac did regain consciousness, this is what he said that sealed the deal on Puffy being behind it all along.
If you feel like that, that's all I ask for. That's all I ask for. If you're gonna act like you a gangster or a G or the king of New York, I'm gonna expect that. And when you don't come through, then I'm gonna wanna crush your empire. And that's what it's time for.
Katt explained why saying Diddy's name next to Tupac hit him so hard. Tupac wasn't just his favorite artist. He was someone Katt felt spiritually tied to, someone he saw himself in. And then he said the line that still chills people today. If he signs out you had a hand in taking his guy out, nothing could make him forget that. Not fame, not money, not safety, nothing. He even said he didn't care what job he ended up working or where his life took him. If there was ever a way to get his justice, he'd take it, because he couldn't live knowing someone walked the earth untouched after doing something like that. Whether you agree with him or not, the emotion was undeniable, and it exposed just how deeply he believed Tupac's death was never as simple as the official story made it. And honestly, if you grew up on Bad Boy, Death Row, Tupac, Biggie, G-Unit, Empire, none of this sounds random. We all heard whispers growing up. We saw the strange party footage. We noticed artists who blew up overnight and disappeared the second they tried to go independent. Sometimes it's not about new information. It's about finally connecting the pieces that have been sitting in front of us for nearly 30 years.
He killed Biggie and he killed Tupac. I genuinely believe that. It's my personal opinion. He killed them both. Set it up, orchestrated it, knew what was going to happen, and then off the top of that, propelled off their deaths to make money from them, creating a career, took Biggie off the Rolling Stone cover so that he could have that Rolling Stone cover, wanted to set up this huge funeral running through Brooklyn, only to then bill Biggie's estate the funeral bill because he wasn't paying anything for it. Suddenly naming the album Life After Death. But what was so manipulative to me is that this man in every publication was stating that I am Diddy's best friend, I'm Diddy's close friend. They weren't that close. The way he lied, no intro, we're gonna get into this. The way he lied to act like he was Diddy's best friend when
Even Gene Deal, someone who was actually there, spoke publicly about how Diddy allegedly orchestrated Biggie's fate that night.
Up until the night Big died, got murdered.
What did you see that day?
When me and Puff touched down in California, we were going everywhere. You understand? He got connected with Sally Richardson, and we were going to the movies. We were going to the House of Blues, everywhere. So I called Kirk Burroughs, oh, your brains, I thought you said we wasn't going nowhere. Puff is going everywhere, and it's just me and him. So I said, yo, wow, they're coming to get us. So I called Kirk Burroughs. I told Kirk Burroughs we need more security. Because at the time, we only had myself, Kenny Story, and Paul. And Paul had hired a cop from Inglewood. We only got 4 security out there. You know what I'm saying? And here we got Puff, Big, and they entourage, the whole 9 yards. So, he tells me that
For years, people thought 50 Cent was just trolling when he teased Diddy's invitations, the parties, the come hang out moments. But now, layered with documentary footage showing Diddy obsessing over image control, legal narratives, and who gets to tell the story, those jokes feel different. That doesn't sound like someone who didn't want to network. That sounds like a man whose instincts were screaming, run.
I'm gonna get off the phone right now, and I am going to let you professionals look at the situation and come back to me with a solution. No matter what, no matter what nobody said. Let's just here and there, y'all are not working.
For years, people thought 50 Cent was just trolling when he teased Diddy's invitations, the parties, the come hang out moments. But now, layered with documentary footage showing Diddy obsessing over image control, legal narratives, and who gets to tell the story, those jokes feel different. That doesn't sound like someone who didn't want to network. That sounds like a man whose instincts were screaming, run.
Watching, I think it was surprising.
That's why the Netflix documentary is hitting so hard. Footage of Diddy recording his own legal calls, demanding media control, talking about jurors like chess pieces. That's not fear, that's entitlement. That is someone who genuinely believed the system bent around him. And when you see that clearly, you start to look back at the deaths surrounding him and wonder. For decades, we said hip-hop simply got violent, beef escalated, icons died. We mourned and moved on. But now the question is changing. When the smoke cleared, who benefited? After Tupac, who filled the vacuum? After Biggie, who got bigger checks? Whose influence expanded while everyone else buried their brothers? That's where a powerful word creeps in: sacrifice. Not supernatural, but strategic. In a ruthless industry, when someone becomes inconvenient, too independent, too uncontrollable, they disappear, and the machine keeps running.
Moves that break the rules. A fool and his money are soon parted, so we take from fools. If and when you ever fall down, get back up. Drop some, stop fronting, pick that shit back up. Stand for something or fall for everything. Wait for the right pitch or miss with every swing. In the absence of the truth, bullshit prevails. That's what they did through truth in jail. The objective is to keep you blind. So along with the handcuffs on your arms, they got shackles on your mind. Seek and you shall find, accepting failure is the only crime. Fall down 8 times, get up.
And the artists who tried to expose it in real time? Many got buried in hip-hop's graveyard, like DMX. The ones who went straight at Diddy in the industry without fear.
Time for it, even though I bought the locks to our batters, they got signed, they were a safer group, Pop signed them. And it was a blessing and a curse, because they were sure they were happy about getting signed first, and they were on the Benjamins, and shit was going, but then he made them jiggy and put them in suits and made them write lyrics for him and took all that publishing and like, damn.
Was out here, they was here yesterday and they said they didn't get no money.
They didn't say they didn't get no money.
The locks.
They said they felt that at this point in their career that it doesn't make sense. They feel like you get more money than them.
So I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna tell you what I got. I'm gonna tell you what I got. Let's ask you. Let's remove me and the locks. Me and you in a business deal. I meet you when you coming up. You want me to invest in you. You know what I'm saying? You a new company. I invested in D Block. You know what I'm saying? I'm investing in you. You a new company. At the end of the day, here come the splits. Out of the money, you get over $1.5 million. And I get 400 or under $400,000. That's it, New York. They got over $1.5 million. And I got
this was back then?
No, this is everything to date. They got 1.5 million.
Their whole career?
They got for the albums they put out. These remember, they the streets. They not making no #1 top 10 pop records. They the streets. So they sitting here crying like I got more money. That's the money that I got. I'm divulging. I don't even speak my information on the street. I will never, ever do this again.
Honestly, just because I let you get some of that specifics in. We didn't really get into too much of the specifics yesterday. I guess just the point that they came up here was, they might be misinformed. I don't know, yes or no, about how much exactly it is. But either way, they have been, they say, trying to get out of this publishing deal for 10 years.
Check this. Okay. If you check this out, if you yourself, you invest in AT&T.
Right.
Okay?
No, I get it. I get it.
No. You invest in AT&T. AT&T, they didn't even start making phones. Then AT&T, whatever years later, say that they want your shares back. But there's no reason. They just say that they just want their shares back. Or even better, you buy a house. You go and you buy a house on set in Harlem. You go buy the house. And
I get it. You're investing. You want it.
Yeah, but I'm saying it doesn't. So they've been calling, knock on the door, saying they want their house back. They had sold their house. They didn't even sell a house. To be honest, they came up here and they're portraying in New York that they sold a house. I don't own their house. Puff does not own 50%. Puff owns 20%. I don't never divulge my information on my business, but it's just the fact that this is just so crazy. And I'm just, it's not even worth it. This is not even worth it to me.
Right.
So out of the house that I bought, I don't even own the house. I just invested in the ground floor. So now you say, just give me the ground floor back just because. I could see if it was what they were saying. They came up here and cried to New York. They cried broke. They used the word slavery. Over $1.5 million in slavery, and I get 400. That's slavery? There's people that are really feeling like they working in the streets. Streets keep it real. There's people that are struggling, and they up here crying. Stop whining, man.
Because here's the thing. Diddy wasn't just a sharp executive, he was the architect of a system that survives by removing whoever threatens the throne. Too powerful, too independent, too hard to manage, you get erased through death, lawsuits, or total career collapse. Meanwhile, Diddy walks away cleaner, with fewer rivals, stronger contracts, more control. People from the streets talk about it like an unspoken law of the game. Once you grow big enough to stand on your own, you stop being an asset. You start looking like an offering. To some, Tupac and Biggie are no longer random victims of rap beef. They're prototypes. DMX is just the next name added to that shadow list, another giant who fell at a moment that conveniently created more space for Diddy's empire to expand untouched. But there's a different kind of sacrifice, even darker, the kind we saw with DMX, because it wasn't only about eliminating rivals. Some say Diddy also learned how to shape younger male stars through access, supervision, and image control, always in ways that seemed to elevate him more than them. A machine built on sacrifice, a throne built on silence. And now, for the first time, the world is watching it fall.
Alright, Usher, Justin Bieber, Diddy. This is how they all connect. When Usher was super young, he got signed to a guy named L.A. Reid, this famous music executive. Usher then loses his voice. L.A. Reid wants to help him, get back on track, so he sends him over to this guy named Puff Daddy. And as you can imagine, Usher had a problem. He just didn't know it yet. See, Puff Daddy was this up-and-coming music executive who could really turn someone into a star. He put them through this thing called Flavor Camp. And during Usher's term in this Flavor Camp, he lived with Puff. And in Usher's words, he would see questionable things. He said at any given time, you can open the door and see a bunch of random people playing Netflix. He said he would be up all night partying when all he really wanted to do was go to the studio. And this is when people speculate that Diddy did something to Usher. Now, I need you to listen to me. I'm gonna give you the evidence as to why people believe this, but until you hear words from Usher, Diddy, Justin Bieber, nobody knows anything. All right, so Diddy and Usher are in an interview with Kevin Hart. Diddy said, "Hey yo, pause, when Usher used to live with me, we used to wrestle for Frosted Flakes." Kevin Hart said, "What?" And he grabs Kevin Hart and pulls him off camera because Kevin Hart doesn't have a filter. After Diddy's Flavor Camp, Usher comes out with an album called Usher. It has really explicit details about watching Netflix. Everybody's like, nah, this is uncomfortable. And people actually did not like the album because his young voice talking about those details really threw people off. And of course, the album was executively produced by Puff Daddy. His mom was like, yo, what the So she grabs Usher. You got former bodyguards coming out saying, yeah, Diddy was very inappropriate with Usher. There's a rumor that Usher got sent to the hospital because of an encounter with Diddy. In fact, rumors have been circulating for like 20 years about this situation. Which brings us to Usher and Justin Bieber. See, Justin Bieber was coming up in the same way Usher was, like when he was super young. L.A. Reid again found Justin Bieber. Usher and Justin Timberlake both wanted to sign Bieber, but Bieber chooses Usher and Usher basically becomes a mentor. Now, Usher then sends a young Bieber to Diddy for 48 hours. And in this interview, Diddy's saying stuff like, man, Justin is doing things that any 15-year-old would dream of doing. And the thing that's always kind of annoyed me about Diddy personally is he's always towing this imaginary line in interviews. Because of his ego, he has been snitching on himself in interviews. If you listen, he'll say something like, Justin be having a really good time with me. If no one acknowledges it, he'll be like, I can't say too much. You know what I'm saying? But like a really good time. I can't say too much though. You feel me? And he'll do this like throughout the whole interview. But here's the thing about Justin Bieber. He's been insanely harassed by the entertainment industry over the years. In fact, Justin Bieber comes out with a song about it where he's not just talking about one person. He's talking about the whole industry. In fact, Justin Bieber starts crying in an interview when Billie Eilish's name is brought up. He says that he wants to protect her and young people in the industry so they won't go.
Back in the 90s, Big L was considered one of the deadliest pens in underground hip-hop, a freestyle assassin whose lyrical precision put him miles ahead of his competition. But his rise ended abruptly in a drive-by shooting outside 45 West 139th Street in Harlem, a tragedy many believed was tied to a long-standing street war involving his brother. Right after his death, childhood friend Gerard Woodley was arrested, but later released. No conviction, no closure, just questions. And as years passed, whispers grew louder. Some insiders claimed there was more behind Big L's death than the streets, hinting that his Rockefeller Records deal wasn't as clean as it appeared. Nothing has ever proven those theories, but the rumors have survived decades, keeping a fog of mystery over one of hip-hop's greatest losses.
The first time I ever saw Jay-Z or even heard him spit a rhyme was at an MC battle, street battle in New York. But he didn't show up as Jay-Z, he didn't show up as the hottest rapper on the street. He showed up as the with Big L.
Rest
For
in
those
peace.
of you.
Rest in peace, Big L.
Rest in peace, Big L.
One of the
That was the
dopest.
sensei.
One of the dopest. Yes.
Big L was who put Jay-Z on.
Without question.
And then Big L died, and then the next thing you know, Jay-Z. And then, you know, he starts clienteling with Tupac and clienteling with Biggie and doing songs with Biggie and building a working, you know, camaraderie with Honeycombs and AKA Diddy.
When Kim Porter was exhausted by Diddy's violence, it wasn't only about bruises. It was about being trapped inside a system designed to crush her spirit piece by piece. The real weapon wasn't fists, it was financial control, a career, an income, and an entire network tied to one man. Leaving wasn't just emotional, it was dangerous.
That, bruh. Kim couldn't have nobody, bruh. Kim couldn't have nobody. You understand what I'm saying, bruh? Diddy could do whatever, Puff could do whatever he wanted to do, Brother Love could do whoever he wanted to be. If Kim ever tried to get with somebody, Puff would interfere with them or with her trying to be with them. He wasn't letting that happen. Unless he was bringing them to the picture. That's what he used Kim for, bro. He wanted to make a deal with somebody. He'll get another girl and a guy that he's trying to make a deal with, and him and Kim, they all party together.
This is where Diddy's real playbook reveals itself, using Kim as leverage for deals while ensuring she could never escape. It wasn't love, it was strategy, a business contract masked as romance. And once someone owns your career, they own your silence. But Kim tried to leave, not once, repeatedly. And that's when things turned from controlling to life-threatening.
Kim Porter says she dumped Diddy. I feel like... In a statement to the TV show The Insider, she says she decided to end what she calls her on-again, off-again relationship with Sean Diddy Combs. She says it was in the best...
Kim Porter wasn't a woman who stayed. She was a woman who kept trying to run, and every attempt tightened the cage until escape wasn't possible unless she was gone. Her death in 2018 was stamped pneumonia, case closed, fast, clean, convenient. But according to Gene Deal, what really happened looks more like a blueprint, evidence missing before detectives even got there. That's not sloppy police work, that's coordination.
I realized, man, Kim's death wasn't even investigated, bro. Her death wasn't even investigated. And it should have been a proper investigation so all the family members can feel like that there was no foul play in her death. How is it that you know how we are as a people? I don't believe that 10% of your viewers that's watching this don't keep their phone when they go to sleep in arm reach. How is it that there was no electronic products or gadgets around Kim's bed? Her laptop missing, her cell phone's missing. Everything is missing that she could get in touch with her little girls if they not at home or her friends or family. All that's missing. How is it that, and
this is hearsay, that the detectives did not even view the body in the bed where she died at. That the coroner had already removed her, pronounced her dead, and told the detectives that it was no foul play. And if that is true, as I've heard it, and we read certain things on the internet about it, that case need to be reopened. We know that Kim, and it's in the this is in the documentation. Shout out to Paperwork, at the Paperwork part. I gotta shout him out, man, because he looked in the paperwork and it said Kim received a massage for about an hour when she's supposed to have full-blown pneumonia. Who gives somebody a massage when they got pneumonia? And do we know whether she used that baby oil or not for that massage? It makes you say,
Katt Williams never claimed to have proof of sacrifices. What he said was simple. Powerful men leave footprints, and when you trace biddies, the trail is long. Artists dead, associates silent, critics erased, and now the empire finally cracking. Diddy has denied involvement in every death tied to his orbit. His team says the documentaries are smear campaigns. They say witnesses are bitter or looking for a payday. And legally, Diddy has never been charged in connection with Tupac, Biggie, or any death. That matters. But so does the world's shifting viewpoint, and public opinion is changing fast.
You know Pac just got killed. It ain't no kind of business Big was doing. Big couldn't even walk, he couldn't run. They was pushing him around in a wheelchair, brother. Why the would you rent studio time in LA for him to finish your album when in fact you got your own studio, Daddy's house?
Now, Diddy sits in a prison cell, convicted on adult industry-related charges, stripped of power and access. And suddenly, the things people once whispered are being spoken out loud. Old interviews are being replayed. Rappers choose their words carefully. And comedians like Katt Williams, they're being rewatched as prophets, not punchlines. The fear isn't whether every accusation is true. It's how many strangers tell the same story. How many warnings were ignored because the man at the center was too rich, too untouchable. So when people say Katt revealed a list, what they really mean is he showed a pattern. Tupac, Biggie, Big L, Kim Porter, names that held talent, secrets, and influence, and never lived to finish their stories. Whether the cause was sacrifice, violence, or cold ambition, the result is unchanged. They're gone. And one man rose higher every single time. The real question isn't if Katt was crazy, it's why everyone laughed instead of listening. And now, with the industry shaking, one thought won't go away. If this much came out after the fall, how much is still buried?